Hello and welcome. This is OBN Horn of Africa English News Service. I'm Anwar Khalil with the news of the hour that is coming to you live from Adama, Oromia, Ethiopia. Congratulations to all Ethiopians and Ethiopian descents for the successful completion of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. To the headlines first. Ethiopia inaugurates Africa's largest hydropower dam. Also in the headlines, the nation announces plan to build a nuclear plant. Those were the headlines and also the video of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which has been inaugurated today, which is magnificent. Now 21 GMT here in Adama, the news in brief. Do stay with us, please. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali officially inaugurated the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which is the largest hydropower dam in Africa today. The inauguration ceremony said marked a significant milestone on Ethiopia, and Ethiopia serving as a symbol of national pride and self-reliance. Ishetopsi reports.
Speaking on the inauguration ceremony of the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed said that we Ethiopians have seen, heard, and learned history, and today we made history and talking about it. The Premier underscores that the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam remains as a monument not only for Ethiopians but also for all black people.
The first great work that showcases black people can accomplish and succeed is the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam. I invite you to come and see the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam so that you can say we can and we will continue.
Prime Minister Abiy mentioned that the lake of the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam is named Ngat because it awakens Ethiopia from deep darkness and asleep. The Premier stressed that Ethiopia's prosperity is inevitable.
ከዚች ዕለት ጀምሮ ዳግም አድዋ በጉባ ላይ
As of today, because of the construction of the second Adwa at Guba, Ethiopia's history of dependence, laziness, and sadness will stop, and an era of which the country will be measured according to its status is coming. Ethiopia's prosperity is inevitable.
According to the Prime Minister, Ethiopia's support-seeking will come to an end and will begin to support others. He said to friendly countries who attend the inauguration event, Ethiopia will share you from its resources, prosperity, hope, knowledge, and experience. Prime Minister Abiy pointed out that Ethiopia has built the dam to lift out its people from darkness. He promised the European countries that Ethiopia will not cut giving the water they demand.
የግብጽ ረሃብ የሱዳን ረሃብ የሌሎች ወንድሞቻችን ረሃብና ችግር የኛም ረሃብ ስለሆነ
As Egypt's and Sudan's hunger and other countries' hunger is ours, we want to share what we have and benefit mutually. We don't have interest to harm anyone. I want to urge you all to cooperate on what we will do in the future. The past has already gone.
On the inauguration of the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam, presidents of Djibouti, South Sudan, Kenya, Somalia, Prime Minister of Eswatini, Chairman of the African Union, Head of UN Economic Commission for Africa, and Secretary General of IGAD, higher officials of the Ethiopian government and various countries are in attendance.
Related news, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali announced that a new wave of ambitious mega projects asserting the nation's commitment to self-sufficiency and economic transformation. The Prime Minister's vision includes launching a nuclear power facility for peaceful purposes, a project he likened in scale and significance to the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Aklugab reports.
Ethiopia officially inaugurated one of the world's biggest dams, which is a symbol of national unity and a step towards regional cooperation. On the inaugural ceremony of the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam, Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed unveiled some of the grandiose projects being built in the near and far future.
ኢትዮጵያ የህዳሴን ግድብ የሚተካከል ለሰላማዊ ዓላማ ብቻ የሚውል የኒውክሌር ፕላንት በቅርቡ ስራ ትጀምራለች።
Ethiopia will commence the construction of the nuclear power plant intended for the peaceful purpose in the near future. The nation will also begin the construction of the biggest airport in Africa. That makes Ethiopia Africa's aviation powerhouse. In the next few weeks, the first natural gas plant will be integrated, and the second natural gas, which is 10 folds greater than the first plant, will be commenced on the same day.
Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed indicated that the petroleum refinery that brings the nation's petroleum extraction ambition to reality will start operation very soon.
ለዘመናት ስንመኝ የነበረው ነዳጅ የማውጣት ፍላጎታችንን ህልማችንን እውን የሚያደርገው ሪፋይነሪ በአንድ ወር ባነሰ ጊዜ ውስጥ ስራ ይጀምራል።
The construction of fertilizer production plant will be commenced in the very near future, and in the next 5 to 6 years, 1.5 million houses will be built for Ethiopians. Generally, numerous mega projects will be built in the near future to ensure prosperity of the nation by budgeting $30 billion.
The Premier called on all nations and nationalities for unity to keep the trajectory of the revival era.
It is the second Adwa that is said. History has been made definitely there. Moving on, leaders from across Africa gathered together at the very construction site of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam to witness its historic inauguration, underline the project's regional and continental importance. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, Africa's largest hydropower project, has of course long been seen as a transformative project for Ethiopia and the Nile Basin countries of region. Its commissioning marks a major step toward sustainable energy production, regional integration, and collective African self-reliance. Let us read reports.
Heads of state and government who have attended the inauguration ceremony of the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam, the largest hydropower plant in the continent, described the project as hope and future of the next generation. They also stated that cooperation is vital for the development of the East African region. President of South Sudan, Salva Kiir Mayardit, noted that South Sudanese and Ethiopians are not just neighbors alone, but also sisters and brothers. He said that the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is not only about energy production, but also about hope and the future of the generation to come.
The dam is not only about energy. It is about progress. It is about hope. It is about the future we want for our children.
The president announced that his country is looking forward to signing an agreement with Ethiopia to purchase power that the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam project generates. President of Somalia Hassan Sheikh Mohamud in his message underscored that the electricity produced by the largest hydropower dam marks the beginning of brotherly and continental partnership.
This dam and the electricity and the power generated will be the beginning that shows this brotherly and neighborly and continentally partnership.
William Ruto, president of Kenya, stated that the inauguration of the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam is a historic achievement. He said that the project is a bold affirmation of Africa's capacity to shape its own destiny. He expressed his country's commitment to working with Ethiopia, its key regional partner. The president commended Ethiopia's progress toward this energy sufficiency and economic transformation.
The Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam is not only a feat of engineering ambition, it is also a bold affirmation of Africa's capacity to shape its own destiny, marshal its resources, and deliver transformative infrastructure in pursuit of prosperity. Today, as we celebrate this milestone, we also reaffirm the enduring bonds of brotherhood, cooperation, and shared vision that unite our nations across the Horn of Africa and the wider Nile Basin. Kenya remains committed to working with Ethiopia, a key regional partner, as it takes this leap towards energy sufficiency and economic transformation.
Ruto says the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam is not merely a national project, but also a Pan-African statement. He added that Kenya's partnership with Ethiopia on clean energy is a living example of regional integration.
Still, our news item is related to the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Inauguration of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam has attracted global attention, emphasizing the project's significance as a milestone in sustainable development and regional cooperation. The event was attended by several African leaders, including presidents of Djibouti, South Sudan, Somalia, and Kenya, as well as the prime ministers of Barbados and Eswatini, highlighting the regional and international significance of this grand project. Our colleague from Kiswahili newsroom, Emmanuel Tesfaye, joins us here to shed his light on our view on this very matter. Emmanuel, karibu.
Yeah, asante sana.
What can you say about this?
Yeah, as the days says, the era of Ethiopia's renewal. It says that the international media have been making a significant cover page of these stories, a transformative hydroelectric power, which is a milestone to African development. And as you have mentioned, many African leaders were attended that inauguration, especially the guest of honor, the Rais William Ruto from Kenya attended that inauguration, which is a distinguished guest. And the Daily Nation from the Kenyans said that on the front page that the Ethiopians' New Year gifts on the Nile is which have a significant meaning. As we know, in New Year, it is where we give thanks to other peoples, and this is a new surprise to the Ethiopians and to the Africans as also. And the Ruto offers to purchase Ethiopians' power, which is a significant and will further bring the milestone of Ethiopian having the improving in GDPs and having profitable in having a currency. As a chief guest, the President William Ruto praised the project as a Pan-African project in which it says that in this movement, you build your own by using your own resources, by using your own people. It was built in that manner. So the president recognized Ethiopia in that way. And when we see Kenya remains committed to working with Ethiopia in regional integration as a key partner through the self-sufficiency of electricity, and this also will trigger more in a way that these both countries can work together in the future. And when we see that since July 2022, Kenya had a power purchase agreement with Ethiopia for the transmission of 200 megawatt. When we see the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam, which will be producing over 5,000 megawatt, which is a big amount that can power the Eastern African. And there is even a project in these Eastern Africas where there will be an integration through these power plants. And when we see to the Kenyans, the agreement of the 200 megawatt was for the 25 years agreement with the Ethiopians. And when we see that the agreement will probably increase now to 400 megawatts after the Omo Quesha project finishes. And when we come to the African news, we see that the Ethiopians GARD inauguration gives a new hope to many Ethiopians, where it will give and trigger many Ethiopians to have a better future through this the generation of electricity, which will trigger the economic through industries, through many ways, the ICT, and this all will bring a many beneficial way for the Ethiopians to have a better life. And when we mentioned that Ethiopians, this African news mentioned that over 60% of Ethiopians live without access
to electricity.
To electricity, which will, this project will delight them, bring more electricity, sufficiency to electricity to them. And this page also gives example as an Ethiopian, a 38 years old Fanose Adete, who lives just 10 kilometers from Finfinne. And she said that it will further help her from getting a renewable energy, because during the past time they were using the fireworks, the charcoals, which were harmful to their children, and they're using the kerosene, which is also harmful. But through this project, there will be a reliable source of energy. And the France 24 English said that Ethiopia has launched Africa's largest hydroelectric project. The $5 billion Grand Renaissance Dam will further power the millions of homes of the Ethiopians and further bringing the regional integrations. The Africa Union page, which will bring a huge celebration also, which today it is commemorating the CERT declaration of the September 9, 1999, which was declared. African leaders agreed to establish this Africa Union. It was today that it is being commemorated. And when we see that in this new pathway of the African Pan-Africanist, we see the stronger continental unity, cooperation and integration through this Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. And the GARD is an example of that Pan-Africanist, the new Pan-Africanist project that Africa Union is looking for. The Agenda 2063 is also included. As we know, the African countries should come together to power themselves through economic. It is in that sense that Africa Union was also established, as we know. And when we see, at last, when we come to see the BBC, the Reuters, and also the international media at all, we see that they are also making a story, an headline of transformative hydroelectric project marking a milestone in African development. And also, the Prime Minister, Dr. Abiy, just an hour ago, posted on his social media that the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam now stands as a complete and a testament to Ethiopia's resolve and beacon for Ethiopians.
It is definitely. Thanks so much indeed for your analysis. And let's move to related news items. Ethiopia's right to use the Nile water resources is based on a combination of sovereign rights, equitable and reasonable utilization, and international water law principles. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam General Manager, Engineer Kefre Horo, says besides hydroelectric power generation, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam plays a significant role in flood control by adjusting the timing and amount of water releases depending on rainfall forecasters, particularly in relation to downstream countries, the Sudan and Egypt. Daniel Jala reports.
The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, built on Abai River, has several potential contributions to the fishery sector by creating a large water body that enables fish breeding, job creation, and food production. In an exclusive interview with OBN Horn of Africa, General Manager of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, Engineer Kifle Horo, says the artificial lakes created around the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam will potentially enable the country to export fish products.
A fishery industry can be established here, in which we can even export fishes to international markets, and as well as we have around 72 islands. So if we develop these islands, there will be a lot of tourist attraction and investment as well.
He stated that the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam can enhance the continuous and reliable flow of water to the downstream countries by regulating seasonal fluctuations, controlling floods, and mitigating droughts.
Sudan, as you know, the flood is only 3 months of a year, but now they are getting a continuous flow, so throughout the country. So their dam is always full. They have boosted their electric generation, and as well as they can irrigate throughout the year because there is a continuous flow to them. And as well as you know, the Aswan Dam is on a shallow, it's a shallow reservoir. That means the evaporation rate is significantly big. But when you impound here, where the temperature is low and as well it is in a gorge, it contributes a lot also. So experts has calculated that around 4 billion additional water will be boosted to the basin because of this dam.
If this was to achieve simply the provision of water and energy to the people of Ethiopia and surrounding countries, it would be a marvel of history, a marvel of engineering, and a boon for the prosperity of the people of this region. But if we are to be honest, it is not simply the achievement of what has been done here for the provision of water and energy and the catalytic effect that it will have on economic and social development and security, but it is the journey. Above all else, the journey. The journey of a people who have remained proud throughout history, who have attested that the origins are here, and who have defied all attempts to keep them down. When we toured the facility in the last few hours, I turned to my brother and I said, "This is the Adwa engineering feat."
Welcome back. What a wonderful speech that was by a proud Caribbean Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Amor Motelli. She addressed a month ago the African Union as well about the Adwa victory. Let's move to other news items, of course, related to the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is an ambitious hydroelectric power project on Abai River, which is Mormor, also or Abaya, or Blue Nile in Ethiopia's Benishangul Gumuz region state. It is designed to be the largest power plant in Africa with a capacity of 5,150 megawatts of power. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam now stands as a proud symbol or emblem emblem of Ethiopia's enduring spirit, sovereignty, and also unwavering commitment to a future of shared regional prosperity. Our reporter, Shetu Opsi, joins us here for studio analysis. Shetu, welcome.
Thank you, Anna.
And congratulations.
Congratulations, thank you.
All right, you can proceed.
Today, Ethiopia has officially inaugurated Africa's largest hydroelectric dam. And the Prime Minister Abiy mentioned that the dam, so far we used to learn, we used to see history, but today we Ethiopians, with our own potential, we made history and now we are talking about it. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is not only concrete, it's a statement of self-reliance. It's all about sovereignty and it's all about just getting the wise use of your natural resource. Just to share some very important points about the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, the surface area of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is about 1,875 square kilometers. It's very wide enough. Maybe this area is almost equivalent to the area of London City and twice the area of Singapore. So it's a very large area. It just carries about 74 billion meter cube of water in the reservoir. 150 megawatt is the amount of electricity that is generated by this Africa's largest electric dam. There are 13 turbines which are supposed to generate this power, self-financed by the Ethiopian people, the government, the diaspora, and all segments of Ethiopians have already contributed to this hydroelectric dam. To mention some about what are the expected benefits of this dam, the first one is tourism. Maybe this area, as I've mentioned, is a huge area which is just surrounded by this huge lake. So it's a potential tourism attraction site. After some tourism development activities will be carried out. The other fishery is potentially it is making job opportunity for thousands of users living around this dam. Really very just niche fish types which have their nutritious value is abundant, is being just cultivated around them. The other thing is rural electrification is another benefit that Ethiopians will get from the Grand Ethiopian. About 60% of Ethiopians are still living in darkness, so this Grand Electric Dam will be expected to lift out this amount of people from darkness, and their bright future is coming soon. The other thing is knowledge and technology transfer. Our engineers and other experts have been engaged for the last 14 years on this engineering project, which requires very special expertise skill. So they have been doing with foreign experts, especially saline engineers. So they get just significant knowledge and experience for further projects that Ethiopia will be undertaking ahead. The other thing is revenue. This electricity is not only for Ethiopians' consumption. Of course, so far we have already launched electric sale to neighboring countries like Kenya, Djibouti, and also we have done deal with Tanzania and Sudan also. So it is supposed to generate about $1 billion annually, so it's a great benefit for Ethiopia for regional integration. So of course Ethiopia is becoming a powerhouse of the East African region, even in Africa at large. So it creates regional integration through this electrification project. It's a catalyst for cooperation. So within this framework, the East African region especially, they cooperate not only for electric purposes, for peacekeeping and for the other development and infrastructure develops. It is a catalyst or is a cause for cooperation. When I go ahead for industrial growth, by the way, almost all industries demand electricity for their production. So it supplies abundant or the electric demand they want. Energy independence and others. So we will be independent in energy self-sufficiency. It boosts the economy in various ways. That's some of the major important points I wanted to mention. Even to add, it also avoids siltation problem for the lower riparian countries, by the way, not only for Ethiopians. Just the silt that's accumulated will remain there as a Ethiopian Grand Renaissance Dam. So its benefit is not only for Ethiopians, also for the lower riparian countries. I think we're running out of time, and let me stop here.
Besides giving them electric power, it saves these countries from spending millions of dollars to clean their dams, Sennar and Aswan, for instance. Thank you so much for that analysis, Ishetu Opsi. A foundation stone was laid to commence the construction of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam on Abai River in Guba district of Benishangul Gumuz Regional State on April the 2nd, 2011. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is now Africa's largest hydroelectric power dam, an emblem of Ethiopian ingenuity, determination, and unity. The dam is an expansion of pride and also expression of pride, and a source of inspiration to both Ethiopians and Africa at large. Our reporter and news anchor Aklu Gabru has special coverage on this very matter.
Ethiopia is known as the water tower of Africa. It is also the source of the longest river in the world, the Nile River. Over half of the population of Ethiopia lacks access to the electricity. By virtue of the fact, Ethiopia commenced the construction of the largest hydroelectric power plant in Africa on this river, that means Nile River, in 2011 by the late Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Meles Zenawi, to fulfill its domestic demand. The dam's reservoir, once fully operational, will hold 74 billion cubic meters of water that span on an area of 1,680 square kilometers. At 1,800 meters long and 145 meters height, equipped with 13 turbines, is expected to produce 5,150 megawatts of electric power. And among these, 4 turbines of this project are also working right now. Domestically funded due to the diplomatic pressure from the lower riparian countries. This project is a lifeline to electrify homes and lift millions of Ethiopians out of poverty. It is expected to generate energy, and the nation's electric provision is expected to be doubled. And it also fastens the economic growth. When I say that, for example, there are so many manufacturing industries, whether they are light, medium, or heavy manufacturing industries, which have been expanding throughout the country. All those manufacturing industries also demand electric power. So upon the completion of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, those manufacturing industries will get adequate amount of electric power that supports the economic growth of the nation. The third one is regional power trade. For example, Ethiopia has already started exporting electric power to neighboring countries like Sudan, Djibouti, and an agreement has made to export to the neighboring Tanzania. So in this way, Ethiopia is playing a very significant role in the regional economic integration through exporting electric power. That means the power grid. It also reduces sedimentation, plays also its part in the combat against climate change. It also creates vast job opportunities for jobless citizens. And the artificial lake that is created adjacent to this Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam will also help us a tourist destination in the near future. That's why we say that the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is not only about power, it is also the pride of the nation, because all nations of the country from all corners of the country have contributed, including the diaspora community, have contributed for the realization of this project.
The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, the name connotes, is the largest dam in Africa, has a total storage capacity of 74 billion cubic meters of water, and will also provide clean, affordable, and power not only to Ethiopia but also to neighboring countries. The dam is more than just an infrastructure project. It represents a bold assertion of Ethiopia's sovereignty and a testament to the nation's determination to harness its own resources for development. Our reporter, who is also a news anchor, Daniel Chala, who recently visited this grand dam, joins us here in the studio. Daniel, congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations to you too.
Yeah, thank you so much indeed. And beautiful, incredible. Even the cameras cannot really show what that project looks like in reality.
Exactly.
What's your feeling today?
I feel I feel very good. You know, today is where you experience national pride. It's a historic leap forward in Ethiopia's journey towards energy independence, and contributed as a citizen your part for the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam through many things, resources, all Ethiopians, I can say. So you feel very, very good today.
We see smiling faces, all Ethiopians, shining, shouting, dancing, chanting. All these were there. In fact, today we have been witnessing that. I mean, when we see this new environment within that warm, hot area, does this give meaning to you?
Well, Ador, look, standing at the foot of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which is 100% completed, you immediately feel the scale of Ethiopia's ambition, as well engineering excellence, and that gives you a different vibe. The other thing is the dam is more than personally experiencing being there physically as a proud Ethiopian. So the dam is more than concrete and turbines. It's a national pride. You feel very different, I can say that. You happen to be there.
I was there 3 years ago. Yeah.
3 years ago, personally I feel very good. We were there a couple of weeks ago. So the dam was 100% completed. So as Ethiopians, you feel very, very good. The other thing is let me say something about the stories that we have heard there. The locals, the local communities, the workers, engineers who dedicated their time and energy over the Abai River, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam construction. The stories, especially those who spent over 10 years dedication for this outsmarted project in the energy independence of the nation, as well as the neighboring countries. Everyone was energetic and excited while doing the regular job. You feel very bright faces. The locals are supportive. They support the engineers, as well the workers of different fields over there. So being physically in the middle of energetic, committed, and 100% commitment on their daily regular jobs can give you different hits.
Sure, 24/7 there.
Yeah.
They enjoy it. They are patriots. And the media coverage we give, including OBN, we've been doing much in promoting this project, in defending this project, and today it became a reality that the world witnessed and appreciated. Thank you so much indeed,
Exactly.
Daniel Chala.
You're welcome.
And in a moment, I'll be back after a short break. Dear viewers, stay tuned.
As we celebrate this milestone, we also reaffirm the enduring bonds of brotherhood, cooperation, and shared vision that unite our nations across the Horn of Africa and the wider Nile Basin. Kenya remains committed to working with Ethiopia, a key regional partner, as it takes this leap towards energy sufficiency and economic transformation. Your Excellencies, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is not merely a national project. It is a Pan-African statement. It exemplifies the scale and ambition of African-led infrastructure and aligns with Africa Union's vision of continental energy connectivity.
Welcome back. That is the speech of Dr. William Samuel Ruto, President of Kenya, on the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, and he's planning to sign an agreement with Ethiopia again for more energy purchases. In a very related matter, I do have a short analysis here. In addition to power generation, water management, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam reservoir opens an opportunity for fisheries, tourism, and other ecosystem, the ecotourism things there. And islanders, over 70 islanders have been created in this very reservoir, or the artificial lake which has been created behind the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. And Ethiopia has already started selling hydroelectric power to Djibouti, Kenya, and Sudan. So this is regional integration. And the topic said this, GERD, from 2011 to 2025. And I named it a grand project, multiple blessings, because there are many opportunities related to this Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. And that's why I was there 3 years ago. That's why I've put this picture there. And this is the magnificent Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. And beautiful, and another inspires the confidence of Ethiopians to move forward to build many more mega projects like this. And the other one is, it's a great example how cooperation can bring results. So Ethiopians stood together and united in solidarity and cooperation and brought about this very success. And the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam also serves as a symbol of unity and possibility and abundance, because I'm gonna tell you what the opportunities are. It is the self-reliance related matter, and it is the symbol of solidarity, resurgence, and also resilience. Minister of Agriculture, Adisu Arga, said this. Let me quote as what it said. Cross-generational development legacy that embodies Ethiopia's determination to shape its own future. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam stands that way, according to the minister. And the former Minister of Water and Energy of Ethiopia, who stood in the United Nations Security Council and defended his country, Dr. Engineer Seleshi Bekele, who was also in attendance today on the inauguration ceremony, said, "We are building hydroelectric power, not a nuclear weapon." This is a wonderful saying that I quoted from him. So resurgence of Ethiopia begins, as the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali of Ethiopia said, drop of blood, drop of sweat, drop of tears, and drop of water came together to create resurgence of Ethiopians. So fishing is there. Now earlier, my colleague has presented related issues, and this is a reality that over 30 varieties of fishes are in this very lake, and some even weighed up to 80 kgs. And the blue economy flywheel, both transportation and fishery, that's why I said blue economy, working on water. And Fanosi, the one earlier stated by Associated Press in Manabichu subsidy of Shagar City, she uses candles, living in darkness, imagine, supporting her family. So this Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam would benefit individuals like her as well. New landscapes have been created, and the smallest island in that lake is about 5 hectares in area. So another important thing that would create job opportunity in tourism, and this lake has been named as Nagat, to mean dawn. So it is the second reservoir underground groundwater could be created. And it is not the end, it is the beginning of Ethiopia's renaissance in the energy sector, because we do have many more rivers, about 12 basins that Ethiopia has. So only the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which is the largest in Africa, in fact, and many more can be constructed. And I thank you, and I'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned, don't go away, please.
It is indeed a historic day for Ethiopia. The inauguration of the Renaissance Dam will be remembered for generations to come. The inception of this project, its construction, and today its inauguration took decades of hard work, dedication, and a visionary leadership. It is well known that its primary purpose is to produce green energy, up to 5,000 megawatts. The Ethiopian people and the neighboring countries will certainly benefit from abundant source of electricity. I would like to seize this momentous opportunity to congratulate His Excellency Prime Minister Abiy for his incredible achievement, and the Ethiopian people as such who believed in this project and financed it on their own savings, blood, and sweat.
Welcome back. Ethiopia, of course, inaugurated the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which is amazing and magnificent, to give access to electricity to 60% and 60+% of its citizens get access to electricity. The strong commitment of all Ethiopians in financing the dam, purchasing bonds, and without any ethnic differences of ideology, difference of faith. They built this grand dam, and it means a lot and shows the desire to get access to electricity by Ethiopians, said Professor of Irrigation and Water Engineering at Dama Science and Technology University, Professor Makon Ayana, who was also with us in the morning to share the pleasure. And Daniel Chala talked to him earlier before the inauguration of this dam, and watch that.
The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam has been primarily financed through internal means, with Ethiopia self-funding through a combination of government bonds, voluntary salary contributions from civil servants, and public donations. Speaking to OBN Horn of Africa, Professor of Irrigation and Engineering at Adama Science and Technology University, Professor Makonnen Ayana said the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is a mega project where Ethiopians united to finance it without any differences.
The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is the mega project that the Ethiopian nations and the nationalities have united to finance.
Shashamani resident Aselefich was one of the committed Ethiopians to finance the dam through bond purchasing.
I consider the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam as an existential project. It is a symbol for the nations, nationalities, and peoples of Ethiopia. I've been contributing my share by buying bonds for the construction of the dam in 10,000 per for years, saving from my little income. You never know how I am excited while I hear it is nearing of its completion.
Military attaches in Ethiopia who paid a visit to the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam also commended its significance for the regional integration.
Very legendary and very wonderful project that is proud, not just in Ethiopia, but also for the neighboring of Ethiopia and the Horn of Africa and East of Africa.
We are appreciating Ethiopia for building this dam. And then especially for us, we South Sudan, we will gain a lot from here because we are among the beneficiaries. We will get the supply from here, from Ethiopia. The water will flow as usual. It will not affect Sudan, will not affect those who are down there. It will not affect anybody.
I think Ethiopia is doing some excellent work here. As you can see, this is incredible. You guys understand water management, I think, more than many other African nations. You live in mountainous and areas where there's tremendous amounts of water, so you understand how to manage your resource.
This dam and the electricity and the power generated will be the beginning that shows this brotherly and neighborly and continentally partnership. We understand that water resources touches life differently in each country. For some, it's about survival and water security. For others, it's about energy and growth. All these perspectives are valid. Our challenge is not to deny the needs of any one of us, but to find ways to balance in the spirit of fairness and mutual respect. And Ethiopia has the right to pursue that happiness and prosperity.
Wow, a great diplomatic victory for Ethiopia to see Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, doctor, of course, president of Somalia, on the inauguration day of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. And that is the Ankara Declaration supported this connection and maintained the relationship and restored the relationship, of course. And finally, today, the 13th month of Ethiopia is on its 4th day, Pagme 4, 2017 Ethiopian calendar. And Ethiopia is ready to accept and receive and welcome the new year 2018, only 2 days away from that. And tomorrow will be the last day of the month. And this day is dubbed as the day of revival for Ethiopians. The day has been marked under the theme, quote, Sustainable Development for National Revival. Commemorates Ethiopia's strides in national revival, renewal, reform, and also transformation. Our editor, Aklu Gabru, who is also a news anchor, presents, of course, a studio analysis. And Aklu, congratulations, and the stage is yours.
You too, Anwar. Yeah, you've rightly said it. As you know, Ethiopia is a country of 30 months of sunshine, and now there are some world countries that do have their own calendar. So Ethiopia is among those countries which has a kind of 13 months. You know, the 13 months is what we call the Pagme, and in some years we do have 5 days in this Pagme, and in some leap years we do have 6 days. And this Pagme Day, as you've already said, dubbed or named after the revival or Resurgence Day. Let me say a bit about some of the mega projects that are expected to ensure Ethiopia's prosperity. You know, that means mega projects driving Ethiopia's growth. As you know, much more has been said about the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. As you know, this dam is, you've rightly said in your presentation, it is the dam which is done by the drop of blood and sweat of all Ethiopians from all corners of the country. That is also expected in order to what? Realize the prosperity of the nation and make the nation a beacon of prosperity in Africa, you know. And the second one is the Koisha Electric Dam. This is also the other project which is being built on the Gibe River, and it is expected to produce 2,200 megawatts of electric power. As you know, Ethiopia is a water tower of Africa. That's why it produces so many hydro powers. Okay, the project also boosts national power generation, in addition to the garden and some other projects. Okay. And the other mega projects is, for example, the Prime Minister today, while inaugurating the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam, right, said that Ethiopia will commence the construction of the nuclear power plant in the very future.
For peaceful purposes.
For the peaceful purpose, all exactly. Right. And the first natural gas plant will also be inaugurated next week. And the construction of the second natural gas will also be started. Its commencement will start on the same day of the inauguration of the first one, which is 7-fold greater than the first one, Anwar. And the petroleum refinery will start operation. And in the next 5 to 6 years, 1.5 million houses will be built and handed over for Ethiopians.
To resolve the housing problem.
To exactly solve the housing problem of the nation, Anwar. And
As you know, the other mega project, the grandiose project that is expected to ensure prosperity of the nation is the Bishoftu International Airport that will start its construction in the very near future. And it's located 39 kilometers from Finfinne. It's in suburb of Bishoftu town, Anwar, and designed to handle 100 million passengers per annum annually, Anwar. And it makes Ethiopia's aviation, Ethiopia the aviation powerhouse of Africa, this the Bishoftu International Airport, Anwar. And it is a mega multi-billion project which is going to be built by $10 billion and to serve as a major aviation hub in Africa. And the other thing is, which is also mentioned by the Prime Minister on today, is the fertilizer manufacturing plant which is going to be built in Gode. An agreement was signed by the stakeholders there, Anwar, and it's located in Gode, southeastern Ethiopia. And it has the capacity of producing 3 million metric tons of urea per annum. Anwar, it's a huge project. And Ethiopian Investment Holding and the Dangote Group have signed an agreement in order to commence the construction of this grand project. And it's also a multi-billion project. It is expected to cost $2.5 billion initiative, Anwar. The other thing is possible to say a lot about the corridor development which is being done across the country for the beautification of some urban centers, and Ethiopia is also undertaking a massive corridor development works across the country. And this, when we see, for example, possible to take Adama city, the roads are very much spacious, and these spacious roads are also creating a kind of beauty for the city. And this is also the other very beautiful project which is being undertaken.
Finfinne is the capital, yeah?
Yeah, especially what is done in the Finfinne city is very smart and amazing. And the other thing is the agriculture transformation initiative. Possible to say, for example, under the agriculture transformation initiative, so many initiatives were launched. For example, possible to mention Bounty of the Basket that enables to ensure food security of the citizens. The wheat production, especially irrigated wheat production, is also the other aspect under this agricultural initiative. Honey, rice, coffee initiatives, dairy products, as well as also there are so many initiatives being undertaken across the country for this agricultural transfer. The aggregate result of these initiatives is also to ensure food security as well as also food sufficiency of the nation and enhancing the livelihood of the citizens, Anwar.
Revival Day. The name connotes exactly. So Ethiopia is doing such great jobs that you've stated crucially. Thank you for that analysis, Aklu Gabru.
You're welcome.
Dear viewers, congratulations once again, Ethiopians all over the world, including our diaspora. Thank you for watching. Have a good time. We've been watching OBN Horn of Africa with me, Anwar Khalil. Bye-bye.